We are halfway through 2026 as I've been mapping out the next 6 months in my Astro study log. I keep hitting the same strange bottleneck. There is a specific window on the calendar in the next half of this year that financial market researchers all seem to point toward, and they point to the same two sectors, energy and AI. Hey guys, I'm Doma and welcome back to my channel. Now let's be clear, this isn't a prediction. I am not here to tell you what to buy. This is me sharing what I found in my Astro study notes. But I think the pattern is worth seeing for yourself. One of the researchers that I've spent a lot of time reading is Raymond Merriman. In his published work, he highlighted 2026 is a very important year because of a rare Saturn and Neptune conjunction. In February 2026, two of the slowest moving planets in the sky meet, Saturn and Neptune. In mundane astrology, Saturn is the principle of restriction, structure, and hard reality. Neptune is the principle of illusion, manipulation, and crucially for markets. And it also represents crude oil and liquids. Not only when they meet matters, but where they meet matters. They can join at exactly 0 degrees Aries. In astrology, 0 degrees Aries is the starting line of the entire zodiac. When slow planets hits this exact degree, what happens doesn't stay localized. It spills out onto the global stage. Saturn and Neptune haven't met at this spot for thousands of years. Now, let me show you why energy is the first place that these researchers look into. Energy is not a monolith. It is split into 3 distinctive categories. First, Neptune rules liquids. It governs crude oil, natural gas, and oceanic drilling. Second, Uranus rules subtle currents, governs the electrical grid, renewables, and pure voltage. And third, Uranus controls raw earth extraction, coal, and uranium. The real story kicks in around July 2026. Both Saturn and Neptune appear to stop and drift backward in the sky. In this framework, retrograde motion does not switch the tension off. It stretches the tension, leaving it humming in the background all the way through December. Because Saturn is sitting right on top of Neptune, astrology points directly to a physical bottleneck in liquid energy. And here's where the timeline gets chaotic. Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer from June 29th to July 23rd. In mundane astrology, Mercury governs commerce, shipping, and logistics. Cancer is a sign of domestic security. When the planet of trade moves back towards the sign of basic needs, history shows us a high probability of supply chain panic. While the oil story is playing out, something else is happening overhead. Uranus, the planet of sudden breakthroughs, electricity, and disruption, has moved into Gemini. Gemini is the archetype of language, neural networks, and raw data. When the planet of invention enters the sign of data processing, Merriman calls a Techno-Renaissance. The last time Uranus was here was back in the 1940s. That is when the first computer appeared. Today we will call it the artificial intelligence. In the middle of July 2026, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, they all swing into supportive angles. Researchers rate this window as highly constructive, a moment where AI, energy grids, and physical infrastructure actually start syncing up. On August 12, 2026, there is a total solar eclipse in Leo. Eclipses and the planet Mars tend to show up right around the market's most violent moments. And then comes autumn. October 2026 is genuinely crowded. Almost every slow planet appears to reverse direction at the same time. We also get our final Mercury retrograde from October 24th to November 13th in Scorpio. Scorpio rules depth, hidden things, and sheer financial resources. The group of planets moving backwards, pairing with Mercury retrograde, it means one thing: market confidence is shaking. If the summer is reaccelerating, October is a harsh reassessment. Let's look at the exact dates. If we are tracking energy constraints, the first major red light flashes between July 9th and July 19th, 2026. That is the window when both Neptune and Saturn hit the brakes and station retrograde. Right around July 18th, Uranus and Pluto, the two slow planets driving this entire AI renaissance, lock into the perfect supportive trine. So you have the AI sector getting a massive green light. Right at the physical energy grid, get a structural red light. On August 12th, solar eclipse acts as a trigger, amplifying the market's anxiety. And by the time we hit that massive planetary pile-up in late October, the market's finally forced to price in the reality of that summer collision. The AI dream suddenly has to pay the physical energy bill. Anyways, I really appreciate you following me down this specific rabbit hole today. And if you have just 1 second, please help me to click subscribe and the like button, and feel free to comment below. Bye, and see you in the next video.